What's going on, everybody? You know, I just want to address a few things that's going on right now in the world. It's crazy out there. For y'all that do know what's going on, everything that's going on in South Carolina is crazy right now, man. It's not just Charleston or the Columbia, it's Greenville, it's Spartanburg, it's Newberry, it's everywhere, man. But a lot of things in this video I want to address, and key points I want to touch on. Number one, man, I think in today's society, man, it's like we throw a lot of stuff under the rug. We push a lot of stuff under the rug. We don't address a lot of things. And that's part of the problem that we face in today's society. You know, we microscope a lot of different things. You know, the answer to, you know, to all the hatred and all the bad that's going on right now is to simply spread love, you know. And I don't mean that, you know, a lot of people hear that and they like, I mean, what do you mean by spread love? And I don't mean necessarily, you know, going out there telling this person you love them or this person love them, but you have to be open-minded to a lot of situations and a lot of circumstances that's going on in today's society. You know, one of the golden rules is love thy neighbor. And it didn't say love your black neighbor or your white neighbor or your Hispanic or your Latino. It said love thy neighbor. So, in essence, how can you call yourself a Christian if you're not trying to embrace the fact that you have to love thy neighbor? You know, I just don't understand what's going on in today's society, you know, as far as that's concerned. Another issue I want to address that it seems to always get microscoped, and is one of the things that really bothers me a lot, is the fact that it's a lot of hidden racism, and it's not always towards African American people. Sometimes it's towards, you know, your Latino people, or, you know, and a lot of times you can't pick up on it because you don't know what you're looking for. You think just because someone uses the N-word and call you quote unquote a nigger that's being racist. You know, a lot of times it's concealed racism that's the problem. And I know I turn on CNN a lot, especially with the Charleston shootings. You know, I want to say, you know, to those families that lost family members, or not even those family members, but families all over the world that, you know, have been subject to the forms of this racism that's going on in today's society. I really want to send my condolences out to you. But like I was saying, I turned the CNN, and what I seen was shocking. It was very alarming. Every time that something goes on and it's not of the African American culture, or an African American person didn't commit a crime, they always use it as something psychologically is wrong with the individual. And to me, that's ludicrous. That's a problem, because now you make it okay to say that this person can go in a church, house of God, and shoot people, and microscope that and say, well, that was something he was fighting inner demons. He was something psychologically wrong with this human being, and that's why he did these crimes. To me, it's a problem, because on the reverse side, if there was an African American person that did that went into a predominantly white church and shot 9 people, it wouldn't be a psychological problem. They would label him as a thug. They would label him with all these different labels. So the media sometimes plays the hand of the concealed racism card a lot, you know, and that's part of the problem, you know, and they do that a lot with different circumstances and situations, like I said, and you have to be open to that. You have to understand what's really going on in the world to get that, you know. I know I seen on CNN a couple of weeks back about the girl, about the Rachel girl, and how she, you know, was telling everyone she was African American, she was with the NAACP and some more things, and come to find out that she was a Caucasian woman. in my mind, I feel like I don't see anything wrong with the fact that she wants to be African American. But what I will say is, you can't choose when you want to be African American. If you're going to be African American, you have to own it. No matter the circumstances, no matter the cost of it, you have to own it. So with that being said, you can't be African American Monday and Friday you want to be Caucasian. You know, it doesn't work like that. You have to endure the same struggles that us as African American people face on a day-to-day basis. You know, the world that we live in is so crazy. And let me take that back. It's not the world we live in, it's the people. You know, the people of the world are in a bad spot. You know, I was talking to one of my good friends, and he was like, you know, all these things are in the book of Revelations. You know, this possibly could be the end of the world. You know, we're seeing things that we haven't seen before. It's more open now. Things are getting more radical on a day-to-day basis, you know. And my answer to that statement was, you know, you have to pray. That's every day, consistently. You have to pray. Whether it's for your finances, whether it's for your family, whether it's for yourself, like, you have to pray. You know, that's the only way you're going to make it through in today's society, because it's a lot of things going on that if you're not educated, if you don't understand what's going on up here, then out there you won't understand what's really going on because you're blind to it. And like I said, man, a lot of times these social media outlets can sometimes use that against the African American population. They use Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these news stations and networks to say, you know, well, you know, this is going on, but no one wants to speak when it's about what's going on in the sense of what's going on in your community, what's going on in your towns, what's going on in your cities, what's really going on. Because ultimately the future lies in the youth's hands. And if you are going through some things, you're not educating the youth, and our future is doomed. And that's one of the reasons why I'm starting my youth center, my youth club. You know, it's to educate the young people on what's going on in the society that we live in, because a lot of times people don't understand it. They're so they sometimes they understand it, but they turn a blind eye to it. But for the most part, they don't understand what's going on in this world. And me, as an African American male, a black entrepreneur, I feel like it's my job to not only educate the youth, but to educate my friends, to educate my family, to educate anybody that's around me about what's going on and how they can help change the situation, change the nation. Because change first starts with you. If you're not willing to accept the fact that change is coming, then you're going to be left in the past. And one thing I will say is, if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. You know, so, you know, I wanted this video to get shares, to get likes. But not only that, I wanted to just inform not only the African American population, but everybody. We're in a bad place right now in the society we live in, you know, and we're supposed to be the land of the free. But sometimes we enslave ourselves by the thoughts that we think and the words that we speak. So with that being said, you know, I would like to take this opportunity today, you know, and the real reason why I made this video is to sit down and, you know, tell you guys that, you know, prayer is essential. Please have faith and please pray. Pray for your neighbors, pray for your teachers, pray for your doctors, pray for your family, pray for whoever, you know, but please pray.